Leonardo da Vinci once said that time waits just long enough for those who use it. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your dream? Or are you helping someone else build theirs? Are you putting in the work every single day, every single moment of now? Are you planning for your future? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So the question is this: what are you doing with your time? Remember, the time is always now. Thank you for joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence. I'm your host for the podcast, and this is a podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses, helping people get past saying I'm going to do it someday or one day, and instead saying I'm going to do it right here, right now, because this is the only time we have. If you want to change your life, you have to do it in the present moment. There is no other time to change your life. So I appreciate you joining me. If you want to donate to the podcast, by all means, you can do so just by going to my website, terenceyoungnow.com, and you can donate there. Thank you in advance for helping me to continue to do what I do, offering these messages of hope, of inspiration, of encouragement to all, that they don't have to wait to follow their dreams in their life. They don't have to wait to follow their passions. They can follow them right now and make a change in their life right here today. Break down those paradigms and move forward. So thank you for joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. This week, I'm going to share with you something. I have two groups on Facebook. I have my Time Is Always Now Facebook group, which if you haven't joined us there, join us over there. Group of like-minded people that all want to change their lives for the better right here, right now, and know that we must take those baby steps. We can't wait for the right time. We got to do it right now. And I also have another group, which is my fitness focus group, In Shape for Life with TY. And that's where I post a lot of my fitness workouts and things like that, because I'm a certified personal trainer. And I'm working with Camp Gladiator as well, right here in the Tampa Bay area. So I host boot camps right here in the Tampa Bay area at my spiritual community, Unity North Tampa. And of course, Camp Gladiator is all over the Tampa Bay area, all over the state of Florida, and I believe 13 states altogether. So if you're looking to get a workout in, I can talk to you about that as well. And in my group, In Shape for Life, we're doing a challenge right now through the entire month of February, where we're talking about how are we loving ourselves more. How are we loving ourselves? Because I truly believe you can't love someone else until you take care of loving yourself first, right? So it's so important that we love ourselves. So I devised this challenge, and every single week we're going through, and it's four weeks long. And how are we loving ourselves? First of all, with physical fitness, how are you loving yourself? Every single day, what are you doing? Are you moving your body in some way? That's loving yourself. The second week is, what are you reading? Because overall well-being isn't just about fitness, right? It's about, what do you put in your body? What are you reading? What are you listening to, right? Those things are important. Number 3 is, what are you eating? What are you ingesting into your body, right? We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then the last one is, what is your spiritual practice? I don't care if you're religious or not. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that everyone needs to have some type of spiritual practice, whatever that means to you. If it's burning sage and meditating or whatever it is, believing and having a spiritual practice is a powerful way to enhance your overall well-being. So I'm going to share with you some ideas on how you can incorporate these into your life and love yourself more. So first, physical fitness. Now, as you know, I'm a certified personal trainer, so I'm working and doing boot camps right here in the Tampa Bay area with Camp Gladiator. And one of the great things about it is I started this journey 3-4 months ago, at the end of 2021, working with Camp Gladiator. And one of the great things about it is one of the things they want you to do if you want to be a trainer is, well, you got to get certified, right? I had to do that. But they said, go to some of the camps. Just go to some camps, go to different trainers all over the Tampa Bay area and get a feel for what we do. And so I started doing that. And guess what? My body feels so much better, right? I'm a big time runner, right? I love running and riding my bike. And that's what I've been doing a lot of. And then I started doing these 1 hour boot camp workouts. And man, my body feels amazing. I feel amazing after doing it because it's functional training, full body functional training for all fitness levels. So it doesn't really matter what level you are. You can do the exercises at your level and we can modify the exercises to your level, right? Whatever it is. But for me, it really changed my overall feeling, my well-being, just by doing the exercises over and over. So if you want to love yourself more, I highly encourage you, find a physical fitness program. You can't leave that part out. How can you possibly, if you want to be well in your 60s, in your 70s, right? We all know somebody in their 60s or 70s, or maybe even in their 50s or 40s, who aren't healthy, right? And there could be many reasons for that, but one of them could be because they didn't take care of themselves. You have to move your body. Move your body consistently. I just said this yesterday in the video. I said, we don't succeed by the things we do every once in a while. We succeed by the things we do consistently, day in and day out, each and every moment of now. That's how you get consistent. You should be moving your body every single day. Whatever that means to you, don't get it confused. Don't think that you have to go out and do a 60-minute workout at Camp Gladiator or go run 5 miles or run a marathon. Maybe it's just walking up and down the block. Maybe it's getting on your bike and riding, for 15, 20 minutes. Maybe it's doing yoga, right? On your back, on the lanai, whatever it is. We should be moving our bodies. And when we're moving our bodies, guess what we're doing? We're loving ourselves more. It's funny I brought up yoga because what does yoga mean? I was just doing hot yoga a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It means union. Connecting with that power within you, with that God within you, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not religious, but if you want to call it spirit, universe, whatever, I don't care what you call it, but connecting with that all-powerful universe that actually resides inside you. It's so important. I'm a firm believer in mind, body, and spirit. They all go together. I incorporate that within my Camp Gladiator camps. I'm always talking about how they're all connected. If you want to love yourself more, incorporate physical fitness into your daily routine. And that's how you love yourself more on the physical fitness side. Second one I'm going to go over is what are you reading? Or what are you listening to? Very important either way. I posted a few books this week in my group, In Shape for Life. One was The 4 Agreements. I know that I posted that one. And be impeccable with your word. I think that's the first agreement. But I love all of them, right? But what are you reading? Well, that book right there talks about being impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. That's one of the agreements as well, right? Be impeccable with your word. If you say what you're going to say and mean that, right? But that's a reminder to yourself. I also posted Who Moved My Cheese, one of my favorite books. I've talked about it right here on this podcast before. A great book on how to deal with change. I'm putting that into my brain, into my consciousness over and over again. Think about this. What are you putting into your brain? What are you putting into your consciousness? What are other people putting into their consciousness? This can meld over into what's going on in our country as well, right? One side of the country watches this news, one side of the country watches that news, and it depends on what you watch, what you believe and what you feel. It's powerful. Think about what you're reading. Think about who you're listening to. I'm not telling you to change who you're listening to. What I am saying is think about it consciously because it's affecting your overall well-being. If you want to love yourself, think about what am I listening to every single day? What am I reading every single day? Should I open myself up to some new ideas? Would that change the way I feel? Remember, when we love ourselves, we're able to love others. And we all need to love others, especially with what's going on right now. This makes me think about behavioral therapy and how I teach that, right? Our beliefs are so powerful. Depending on what we listen to and what we're reading affects our beliefs, right? Our beliefs control our thoughts. Our thoughts control our emotions. Our emotions control our actions. And our actions control how we experience the world. So what you're reading or what you're listening to, which is affecting your beliefs, can change your entire world. Think about how powerful it is. You want to love yourself more? Be cognizant of what you're reading. I'm not telling you to stop reading what you're reading or listening to what you're listening to, but be cognizant of where it's coming from and open yourself up. That's how you love yourself more. What you're reading, what you're listening to. Next one is this: what are you eating? What are you putting in your body? I just had a conversation with one of my clients the other day. We're talking about how what we struggle with, and he was talking about he's doing some intermittent fasting right now because he said he loves to work out. He comes, he works out, he's consistent all the time. But he says, "Man, I can't get my diet right." I said, "You know what? I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you. I'm one of you too." You know, I've joked about it all the time on here. I have two kryptonites. One of them is cookies. I love cookies. I do love sweets in general, chocolate, but I love cookies, and I love drinking Coca-Cola. Though I've talked about both of those on here. So I have those things too. But why is it so important to understand that and make changes? Because what you put into your body affects how you feel. Literally, I was just watching a story the other day on the news, and they were saying breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And you've heard that before, but why is it so important? Listen to the word again. This was a doctor saying, I'm not making this up. Breakfast. Break fast. Why is it so important? Because breakfast is the break from your fast. You say, well, I'm not fasting. Well, it's the fast that you get when you go to sleep. Because you sleep for 5, 6, or 7 hours and you don't eat while you're literally sleeping. So you have had a fast of 5, 6, maybe 7 hours, some maybe 8. It's the break of the fast. That's where the name comes from. Breakfast. Break fast. So the first thing you put in your body starts to manipulate how your body reacts for the rest of the day. So think about what you're putting in your body at the beginning of the day. This is important. Some people may get up and drink Coca-Cola, not that I do that, or whatever in the morning. Or it may be that cup of coffee or tea. Maybe it's that caffeine. Is that really good for you? What you eat, what you're putting into your body physically affects your overall well-being. So if you want to love yourself more, find ways to eat healthier. And before I did this podcast, I thought about it. I was like, I do this sometimes too. I will go to fast food because sometimes we all just want to get something quick. But when you go through the fast food, you can still make healthy choices. 2 things I do. One thing is at home. I'll say this first. At home, I will make it a point to say one of my meals is going to be a salad. I might put some chicken in there, maybe a little turkey bacon or whatever, or maybe just a salad. But anyway, one of my meals is flat out going to be a salad. Or, I've said this before in here as well, I'll do breakfast, but there's no meat in my breakfast. Just little healthy ways. One of the most important things you can do about what you're putting in your body or anything is don't try to change everything at once. Take the baby steps, right? So that's the first thing. Change one meal out of the day and build off that. Secondly, when you're out there and you just got to get fast food, it happens. Choose the healthy option. Almost every restaurant now has a part of their menu that's healthy choices. They name it different stuff, right? But it doesn't matter where you go. You can grab a salad at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, or you can get the grilled chicken. They're not bad. They're not bad. You can do that. You can get healthy pizza. If you go somewhere, they've got different crusts you can do. You can make little changes even when you're in a position where you have to get or forced to get something from fast food. But remember, what you put into your body is so important. So if you want to love yourself more, be cognizant of what you're putting physically into your body. And remember that breakfast, break fast, the first meal of the day, that breakfast is so important. So make it something that's good for you, whether it be oats and barley or wheat or whatever the case may be, eggs, whatever you have. Make sure that breakfast, that break fast is an important and meal that's going to nourish your body and get you going, because that's going to fire off what's happening in your brain, in your nervous system, everything right from the jump. So what you put into your body, what you eat, is so important if you want to love yourself. And lastly, the fourth one is this. Think about this: spirituality. Again, I'm not a religious person. I don't care whether you believe in God or not. It doesn't matter to me. But what does matter to me is this. Do you have a spiritual practice? I'll share this with you. And some of you know this. I go to a drum circle on Thursday nights. Didn't go last night, but anyway, I go almost every Thursday night. To me, that's a spiritual practice because drumming is like meditation. And to the people there, they know that too. We have conversations about it. Some of my friends there, it's like a spiritual practice to them. That's their church, right? That's their spiritual community. We commune there, and you can connect spiritually, connect with the power within you by feeling the beat of the drum. Maybe that's your spiritual practice. I want to be very clear. It's not about going to a church with a minister and all that stuff. I don't care about any of that. None of that matters, right? The church isn't the building. The church is the people. So who do you congregate with to exercise your spirituality? When I talk about spirituality, what I'm talking about is this. We are spiritual beings having this human experience. That's right. We existed before we got here, and now we're here, and we're going to exist after our physical body leaves here. We're spiritual beings having this brief human experience on earth. And when I say brief, it's brief, right? It's very, very short. How are you experiencing this life? How are you expressing yourself spiritually? It's important that you connect with that. How do you do that? Maybe it's through prayer, maybe it's through meditation. Again, I'm not talking about being religious. Meditation could be the drumming. Meditation could be going out into nature and just listening to the birds and the sounds of the animals and the trees and the wind, going to the beach, going up in the mountains, whatever it is for you. But connect with Mother Earth. Connect with your spirituality. If you want to love yourself more, connect with your spirituality. Find a way. Find that purpose for life. And what is the purpose of life? To show up as the face of God, as the face of the universe, as the face of love to other people, to help others. We are truly put here to help others. Connect with your spirituality. You'll find that purpose for yourself. You'll find a way to help others, and it'll change your life. That's how you love yourself more. Connect with that spirituality. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you do. When we do these things, when we connect with our fitness, when we add physical fitness into our life, move that body in some way, when we read, are cognizant of what we're reading, what we're listening to, when we're cognizant of what we're putting into our bodies, what we eat, especially that first break fast, that first meal of the day, and when we acknowledge and think about how we connect with our spirituality. If we do those things, we're going to love ourselves more. And guess what happens when we love ourselves more? We open ourselves up to be able to love other people more. And isn't that what our world needs? When you do that, when you love yourself more, then love others more, you can unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. I haven't been doing these regularly. I'm going to get back to a weekly basis. But hey, schedule changes, things change. I'm open to making changes. Maybe I'll go to twice a month or something like that. We'll see as my life changes and moves with the different things that I'm doing. But I will continue to bring you these podcasts as much as I possibly can going forward. So we'll look forward to that schedule getting back to close to every single week. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate you being here. Remember this. Share this podcast with your friends, with your family, with everyone. I want everyone to be able to get these messages and be able to hear it and invite other people to come in. Go to my YouTube page and sign on there and click like and subscribe so you can get these and know when I'm posting another podcast as well. So I appreciate you. With that, I am going to sign off. This is TY. Remember, the time is always now.